Ushi, welcome everybody, Beza Youth. It's Friday night and the timing is right to sit tight. What rhymes? You carry on. I think this is as far as I can go. But welcome everybody. I know it's called Get Cozy. Tagabalu, Ganatagahu, Ababa Tasfai. Generation Z, I don't think you guys recall any Ababa Tasfai. But anyways, just get comfortable. We are excited for today's service. Buckle up, guys, all right? We'll continue our first family series. I'm really excited. I'm just here to make two announcements. One, Survival Innovations campaign still happening. We are anticipating your solutions. We have some submissions, but I know there is more inside, cooking in you somewhere. Dare and just release that, okay? It doesn't have to be big, sophisticated, fancy. Whatever you think can solve, all right? Or attempt, or come close. You just write it and send it right away at our bot at survivalinnovations_bot. So that's on. Second, summer camp, guys, cooking beautifully. Like Teresa. I know it doesn't cook, but it tastes as good as that. All right? I'm really excited. August 25 until 29, we will come to your homes, don't you worry. And also, it's for free for the first time. So don't miss this opportunity. Registration is open. So if you want to register, the form has been already virtually uploaded. You can sign up and send it back to us. It's on our Telegram group, Beza Youth Group. Also, we'll put it up on the Beza website so that you can also have access there. Register and let us know that you're coming. We have no number limits this week, no fees. My goodness, everything is for free. Amen. It's gonna be a blast. We're experimenting. We'll see how our first virtual summer camp is gonna turn out. So go ahead and register and let us know that you are coming. Without further ado, today we'll just go right into our service. I have special guests, truly special people waiting for you, ready to chew and discuss on what we have started this week. All right, let us know if you have any comments on their discussion and any feedbacks. God bless you guys. Enjoy.
Good evening, Beza Youth. Hope you are doing well. Like Misu said, we're doing something awesome and special. As you can see, I have the most amazing, gorgeous Pastor Fitsum right next to me. Hi, Fitsum.
Hi, thanks for having me.
We're so delighted to have you. I'm sure maybe not a lot of our youth know you in depth, so we'll get to know you. But tune in, don't go anywhere. Yeah. So, hi, Fitsum.
Hi, C.
Can you please tell us a little bit about you? I mean, I know you, but like for the youth that don't know you, like who is Fitsum? Is she married? How did we get to call her a pastor? Does she have kids? What does she like? You know, stuff like that.
So I guess before I tell you where I am, I always have to remember where I came from, I guess. And I guess at the core, I am an Addis Ababa girl. I was born and raised here, more specifically a Gulalle girl. And so I grew up in Gulalle with my parents and 4 siblings. So yeah, that's where I came from, and I lived, I guess, up until age 17 here in Addis Ababa, and then abroad for a little bit for school with family, and then came back about 16 years ago. And but I got saved around age 17 and went into ministry in different capacities, knowing intentionally or unintentionally about age 19. And so I've been loving the Lord and following the Lord since then. Yeah, I've been in Addis Ababa for about 16 years now. And well, yeah, that's that. Did that cover? Oh no.
Oh, yeah. There's a ring on your finger.
Yes,
so
yes. I am married to a wonderful, tall bear. You can give a huge hug to kind of guy, who is a very subtle and stabilizer in my life. His name is Saleh. And so we've been in this journey together. Yes, God has been good to us. We have 3 children, age 13, 10, and 8.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome. I hope you all caught that. That's an awesome introduction, right? So many questions I have. I personally have a lot of questions for her. So you told me you grew up with your siblings, you had 4, and then now you have 3 kids.
Yeah.
That means you've kind of been around family almost all your life, kind of, except the time you got married and then you didn't have kids, kind of.
Right.
So like you've been in the family dynamic. So how would you say your understanding of family was shaped before you came to Christ, maybe, and then after you came, like in general, or how was that view shaped?
I think culturally here we can say that family is of paramount importance here, right? It's a priority, and you draw a lot of your values from your family. So growing up, from your parents and grandparents and uncles and aunties and just the whole village has raised us, and that was very important in our upcoming and in the way we were shaped and molded. And so I say that yes, as a child, we saw our parents, you know, we all come from different kinds of families and the different dynamics.
Yeah.
So we take some and we leave some, you know, we don't inherit everything, and some of them we don't. But I've learned a lot from my parents. I've grown up, yes, with 4 siblings, and I don't know, I've learned that family is very, very important, and it's your foundation. I mean, you can go to work and you can go out there and accomplish things, but in the end you come back home, and that's your base, and that has to be peaceful, and that has to be enjoyable.
Wow, that's amazing. You said family is a place where we draw our value. It's a place where our foundation is made. So how would you say your foundation was made, or like for our viewers, our young people, and even parents watching, how do we, because you know, like we don't take kind of every value, every thing that we're taught, but in a godly, in a biblical sense, like how are these values shaped? As you were a daughter, but now you're a mother, you know, and you've been an aunt, or you will be an aunt. So just in these different dynamics, how does one transfer value to their kids, or how was it transferred to you? And you know, how can we, you know, play around that idea?
Yeah, I am an aunt to two boys, by the way.
Awesome.
So,
okay,
but,
I didn't know that.
But you know, now being a mom, I have so much grace for my mom. You know.
Did you hear that? Now
Truth.
that she's a mom, she has grace for her mom.
I've found out that in every woman is a girl inside. A lot of dreams and aspiration, even in our grandmothers, you know. So many unfulfilled dreams, unmet desires, just like us, you know. Yeah. And so so drawing values and things from her and from my father and from the family around. It's been said, but it is so true that you take what you see more than what you hear, what you experience, what's truly them. And so I have learned so much of the things, the values that I have received from my parents, it's who they are, not necessarily what they say. I don't remember much about a lot of the things they've said. It's been so long, I guess, being a kid. But what I've seen and what I know they are, that I have inherited. I could go into examples, but, you know, maybe an example?
Yeah.
Kind of like my mom and her mother before her, were like an activist, really, like justice was very important for them, no matter where they saw it. On the streets if we drive, and if they see a boy hitting a girl or something like that, they would stop their car, jump out and get involved, you know. And that, I think, is something that I have seen, that I have taken. It's became innate. It's been a thing. So what I would say, or what I learned now from my children is we have to lead by example. And they inherit who we really are rather than what we say. So the best parenting tool is better yourself.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow, like I'm taking notes. here. She said something very profound about us being the example. So I mean, for most young people, because we work with young people, and you know, we usually get we rarely pay attention to what we see. Most of the time we're so attentive to, oh, my dad said this, my mom said this, I was so offended, she hurt this. You know, like we're very we're very sensitive about words. But I think if we as young people tune ourselves to who are these people as parents, like what can I take from them, I think the dynamics will change. I think that's one of the key things that you've mentioned. I mean, okay, that's great, but like, how in the world are you surviving? How are you trying to be a good example in the past 4 months while you're stuck with everybody, or you're with everybody? For some people, we're just stuck with everybody. You're with everybody, 3 kids, and your husband. How has that been? And how has you been kind of processing what it meant to be together with everybody? Because you know, like when school was there, like, you know, they go to school, you work and everything. So, but now everybody's at home. How has this value transferring and just hanging out with everybody all the time has it been?
The lockdown season is obviously very interesting, but I think we're experiencing a lot of challenge. But I think the lockdown didn't so much present challenge in the home as much as it revealed a challenge that's already been there, or things that have not been addressed, that has been camouflaged by the so much activities that we have. Like just running around has become like the smoke screen, so we don't see clearly what was there. So what I mean by that is, in this last 4 months, when the children are home, you get to clearly see the issues, the things that you could normally ignore. So I think it presented us the opportunity to address these things. So our children would go to school and they're indoctrinated by the world. And now they come home and you're locked together and you see this girl, you're like, who are you anyway? Like, do you look like me? Do you like? I would imagine that would be a serious challenge, and so, but it would be like a wonderful opportunity to say, hey, by the way, just because I gave birth to you, it doesn't mean I really know the intricacy of who you are. Or because you've known me all of your life, that doesn't mean you know everything about me, right? So it's an opportunity for me to get to know you. Hello, child.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And what do you like? Who are you? Who do you want to be? I think in this past 4 months, that is the opportunity that time has presented for us. And if you have a cup full of dirt, one of the ways you can clean the glass without shaking so much is just keep pouring in clean water, right? Eventually it'll spill out, and eventually you'll have clean glass. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity. They don't have anyone else to influence them except me. So I'm not sure if I am answering your question really.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's revealed something for us. It has an opportunity now to face it. And it takes work. It takes intentionality. What I would present families or individuals or youth to think of it is, what kind of family do I want? It's good to ask and to imagine and to dream with God. You know, what kind of family do I want? Why is that important? That allows you to open a window of imagination that will help you look out of the rut that you're stuck in. So it insinuates the possibility of, you know, it brings hope. It injects the God factor. It's saying anything is possible. So if I could say, if I'd sit with my husband and say, okay, what kind of family do we want to grow here? Or if my children would say, what kind of family would we want here? That helps you open up, and that kind of gives you hope as an anchor, right? If in the instability of life, that hope allows you to imagine and to dream, and because of the purpose that comes out of that imagination, you can now make a routine. right? So in the beginning, we were thinking, what do we want out of this season? What do we want to see? Okay, looking at my own self, one of the things I've said is I'd like to get in better shape. Okay, dream. What do I want? What do I want out of my family? What are the kind of things that I would like to see strengthened in them? Okay, then we have this time. What can we work on? Now that we can hope, we can dream and imagine and find that, then we can find a routine. A routine is very important because nothing can happen in one day. No one big event can change anything. It's the small daily things that makes a difference. So how we're coping is from the beginning we started imagining and dreaming. What do we like to see in this child? What is the one thing this child needs? What is the thing that I want to see in myself? What are the things I want to do? Do I want to take online courses? How do I by the time this thing will surely be over, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
But by the time I come out of it, it would be sad to come out of it the same way I came in.
Yeah.
So what can I do to make it? That vision and view courses your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's like it guides you instead of just going through the day. You kind of have like a hope, like that you see. I really like what you said about how, you know, and I hope you guys are catching this because we're hearing from a mother, because as much as you complain that they don't get to know you or they don't know me, I'm like this and they that, we have to, you know, we have to put in consideration that you're changing, you're evolving, and so are your parents. So like having that view of like we're both changing, then we ought to afford each other some sort of grace so that we can get to know each other. I think I really like that. And the other thing is like from what she said, you know, we get to also participate in creating the kind of family we want.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not just, okay, of course it's the parents' responsibility to provide a certain type of home, but also the kids, as kids, or I should say, you guys have the responsibility to participate in creating that. And in, like she said, kind of having that open-mindedness and open heart for the Lord to come give you vision. I think that's very important.
Can I add on that one? Key thing, so this is a little funny, but so it feels like a cruel joke to me, the fact that kids who are becoming a teenager are going through some hormonal change.
Yeah.
And if you see your parents are probably in their 40s or maybe late 40s, and so they're probably going into, if your mom is probably going into early menopause or something like that. So you're both kind of going through fire age or whatever they, you know? And you know what I mean? Like, I think that's a very important thing to acknowledge, right? I understand when you understand as a mother, if your teenage child is going through change and this hormonal thing is raging through their bodies, you're understanding. So I think children also can afford the same grace to their mothers, because their mothers are going through a different kind of hormonal change. And I think an openness is very important for our families. We are open about talking about what my body is going through, so that my children can understand and extend a bit of grace, and I also can I can understand them. And so their openness from the oldest to the earliest, they know everything that I go through, and so I think that helps to have that interaction.
Yeah, I like that. And you know, Fitsum usually tells me, she tells her kids that this is my first time mothering too. You know, it's not like she was given the experience to mother, like a manual. So it's like we really need to extend that grace to our parents. And I think that's very important, because I know even in the season we hear from parents, you know, like our kids are spending the whole day in bed, or like they're just locked in their rooms. So like get out of the room, you know, like get to know your parent, like kind of ask them like, what are you going through? Like, how has this season affected you? You know, it's not just on you that this thing has happened, it's on them too. It's on work, it's on their everything that they deal with. So I think that grace is very important, and keeping the openness. What else?
You said something really interesting, like the children would go into their room and lock themselves, right? Either they're in electronics, like an unending amount of electronics. And when that happens, you kind of feel unease as a parent because you know there is an influencer behind that screen that is influencing your child. So you're nervous for that reason. You don't know what these people are telling your child. And so I guess as I don't know if their parents are watching, I think as parents, also children should know this, that it is our responsibility. It's not even, it's our natural instinct to protect our children. So it's not calculative, I don't want you to be on the screen. It's instinctive to protect my child from a predator that might be in the screen. So when I say get off that screen, it's that. But if there is a parent, so the children should understand that, but if there are parents watching, instead of us just reacting to fear, I think we should think a bit critically and say, let's really define what exactly is bothering me. Like, is it the length of time she's spending or he's spending on the screen? Is it the kind of website or app, or is it the time of night or day she's on it? Once we narrow it down, then we can say, this specific thing, I don't want it. And then enforce that, because you're the parent and you have the responsibility and the authority. And that authority is a blessed authority by God to protect your child and to remove it. And if parents, I guess, enforce that, children, they catch on. They understand. Then the other problem is when you enforce a boundary and say you can't get on this site, or you can only be online or on TV for this amount of time, then there's another amount of time, right? When there's that much amount of time now, what do? Then it involves you, parent. That means if you're a little child, you might have to read to him. Then you have to sacrifice, right? You might have to take a walk with your teenage child. You might have to, if you're wanting your children read, then you might have to sit next to her, read your newspaper. You can't say you read and I'm going to be on YouTube. Can't do that. Yeah.
So it's like it goes both ways. The discipline and the pattern goes both ways.
Yeah. For teenagers, what I would say is that it's such an exciting season. You have the whole world in front of you. There's that thought. It's true. It's an opportunity. It's a great opportunity. You have a treasure in your hand. But I don't want you to also believe the lie like you have unlimited amount of time. This time also passes very quickly. So you have to enjoy it and use it intentionally, right? And just focus and compartmentalize yourself and say, what kind of spiritual life do I want to have by the time this is over? Or physical life, or what kind of emotional health? And then focus on those things and create your own routine to achieve your goal. I guess in the absence of purpose, and you choose different kinds of entertainment, that puts you in trouble.
I really like that. I think it kind of puts the responsibility back to you guys. You know, as much as you claim to be independent, or like, I know what I'm talking about. I think if you actually believe so, then take up this challenge, take up this responsibility of choosing what you want to be, what you want to look like, how you want to act when this is over, you know? So I think, we can expand this and talk about it as we conclude. I've gotten so much personally, but I think you guys, some of the things, one is we are both responsible for creating the family that we want. Family is our place where we draw our values. It's our foundation. So if you really want to have a healthy foundation, contribute to it. Don't just sit and complain, oh, my mom sucks or my dad sucks, but be part of that change. Like we say, you guys are change agents, but also like allow grace to your family, allow grace to your mom and dad as they're going through the season as well. But I think ultimately, family is God's idea, God's heart. I think Niso's been echoing that. It's the blessing is in the family unit, and it's in them. As conclusion, Fitsum, what would you say, or like summarize, encourage our young people?
If you haven't heard the last couple of weeks of Pastor Misu's message, I'd say just go back and listen to it, because it is true. When God wants a solution, he comes to the home. And he comes to a child. Same thing that happened with Moses and with Jesus every time. So you are a solution and not a problem at all. You're a gift to the world, but you cannot squander that gift. You can make the most of it. And present, you know, half the challenge is knowing your season. I feel maybe 70% of the challenge is knowing what season you are in. And this is your season of preparing for what is to come. So the more you prepared, the more you're ready for what is to come, and you don't want to regret not having to use this time. I think what I would say is that more young people, I want you to know that your parents are also the funniest thing. Like you said, I tell my children, it's my first time ever being a mother to a 12-year-old. I've never been one before, so I'm learning it with you. So be encouraged to support your parents. Be encouraged to have an idea, and your idea is valuable. To sit around and dream together and create your world.
That's awesome. I hope you guys got something. If you have any questions, you can comment on our YouTube channel, Beza International Ministries. We'll direct the question to Fitsum, and then she can answer them. Love you guys. Have a lovely evening.
There's going to be 2 steps. The first is going to be collecting the problem, and then the second one is going to be collecting the solution. So, all right, so I'm just going to walk you through real quick the boat. So first thing you do is you're going to go to your Telegram, because it's a Telegram boat, and you're going to search at Survival Innovations, and then you're going to click on the boat right now, just like you can see on the screen. So click Start, then you'll see 3 buttons underneath on the menu. The first one will say Send Response, so you can just click on that, and you'll see 3 instructions. They'll just help guide you, and then as you can see here, it says you can send a voice message, a text, or an audio. So whichever one you prefer, you can just send us your message, and that's it, you're done. The other options here are just, if you want to get more information, you can click on more info. You'll get videos, links, and just a lot of information that we've provided. And lastly, you can contact us if you have any technical difficulties, or if you just have questions for us, you can write a short message and we'll respond right away. So that's it.